This episode of the Texas Toast Podcast, we welcome back Hayden Haddock. He is a favorite in the Texas country industry and a favorite here on the Texas Toast Podcast. We're going to talk about his new release that he has out to streaming, another streaming release that actually has went out to radio. Go back to the days when music first started for him. That's coming up on the Texas Toast Podcast.
Let's go.
I am so happy and excited to welcome back one of my favorite guests and favorite people, favorite Texas artists, Hayden Haddock. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. Thank you so much for having me back on here.
Yeah. So you've got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, I follow along with you as you go. And we're just going to jump straight into your current music. You released to streaming a song called Texas Tail Lights, which, oh my gosh, there are so many good lyrics in that. I did touch on it here on Texas on Tap. So I just want to say, I love the lyrics song, love the whole beat, fiddle's great in there. So tell me about the making of that song and deciding to go in the studio and cut it. That had to be just a really fun one.
Yeah, that was one of those songs. I didn't write that one. It was pitched to me a little while back, and it was one, I guess kind of like a lot of them that I haven't written throughout the career. Just kind of once you hear that first verse and chorus, you just kind of know you want to record it. So that was definitely one, like you said, from a lyrical standpoint, that I wish I'd written myself, because there are some clever lines in there. But yeah, we just kind of needed a kind of a good old little Texas country breakup song, and so that kind of fit the bill. And of course, as usual, working with old Trent and all those great studio musicians there in Nashville, they took it and made it sound great, at least in our opinion. So I'm glad you like it as well.
Oh, I love everything you do. And I love that, you've been working with Trent for a long time.
Yeah, it's been, I guess 5 years, somewhere around there, 5.5 years. Yeah, I'm terrible at judging time, but it's somewhere around there. So it's been a while, and I'm obviously, as I always say, I'm very grateful I met him, and
Yes.
definitely would not be doing a lot of the stuff that I'm getting to do without him. So forever grateful to Mr. Willman.
I know he's one of the best in the business. And it's like, well, let's talk about it, just in case, let's kind of back up with your history and how music came about for you. The whole thing when you were in your dorm at Texas A&M, and unbeknownst to you, you were getting recorded. I just love that story. I thought we would share that again for those that may have missed it in the first interview.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, basically, I went down to Texas A&M for my freshman year, and was living with a roommate at the time. And basically, when I was going to college, I was so shy about playing the guitar and definitely singing in front of people. So I almost didn't even pack a guitar to take to college with me, because I knew I was going to be living with people and I wasn't going to play in front of them. And one night I was dating a girl or something, and she had came over, and my roommate wanted to embarrass me, so he kept telling her that I could sing and play the guitar really well, and that I needed to get the guitar out. And of course I wouldn't do it. And then finally there was enough begging and all that stuff, and so I decided to do it. And then my roommate, I guess, got his phone out and went around the corner and sent it out on Snapchat and videos to my family and whatever else it was. And after that, everyone was like, "Hey, you're not half bad." And so I played my first little show about a month later, or something like that, and then been rolling ever since. Haven't looked back.
You have been rolling and you're staying super busy. And so let's talk about the next song up on my list, Front Porch in the Rain. You've released that to streaming. It's a gorgeous song. And I just actually officially went out to Texas radio today as we're speaking.
Right. Yeah. No, we're super excited about Front Porch in the Rain, and it's already doing well. I think we put that one out a couple weeks ago. Again, I'm terrible with time, but something like that. And anyways, yeah, we love that song, and I've been wanting to get that one out for a while. And obviously, yeah, that's kind of the opposite of Texas Tail Lights. It's got a little more of a pretty sound to it, some pretty fiddle on it, and obviously a love song rather than a breakup song. But yeah, we decided to push that one out to Texas radio, and like you said, that went out today. And so we're excited about it and hoping we can get our first #1 spot with that one. I'm confident in it. So
And, and you've had a success with your multiple, what, about 15 radio releases or so. I mean, you've had a lot, and you've
yeah.
got it in the top 15, top 20. You've gotten up there, but this one, I'm betting on it personally myself. And I
Oh,
wanna
good.
ask you yeah, I wanna ask you about the single art, the cover, the cabin, the picture that's on the single art, that it just takes me away. I mean, I'm a front porch person, like, memories were made growing up on the front porch, and when I saw that the single artwork, I was just like, you just wanna be there, you wanna be sitting on that front porch.
I agree. Yeah, I wish I had some really cool story behind that picture, but I honestly don't. That was a graphic designer out of Nashville who was really good at his job, and but it is cool because I did just tell him. I sent him the song, before it came out, and I said, "Hey, just kind of send me a few options of, whatever this song kind of makes you think about, and what would you think the front cover should look like?" And that was literally the first thing he sent me, and I was like, "Yep, that's it." So he did a really good job with it.
It's definitely a beauty. So you've got these 2 songs that kinda dropped, and now you got the radio release. Is this an indicator of more music you're gonna be dropping in the future? Are you working on a full EP or album or anything? Is any of that in the works?
Yeah, so yeah, we've still got a bunch of new music that we're just kind of sitting on because we got in the studio. Dude, I mean, it's been over the last couple years, just kind of in and out, just recording stuff, and I've gone back in and re-recorded things and all this stuff. And so I think as of now, the game plan is just kind of to stick with doing this single release thing. That seems to be
Mhm.
working pretty well. And I think honestly, a lot of people I've talked to are saying that's just kind of the way things are going nowadays. Probably in the next, I would at some point like to do another like full length album. Probably sometime down the road. I don't know when that will be, but yes, there is new music on the way. But I think we're just going to kind of keep it in that single, the single platform. But yeah, we've got a ton of stuff ready to go. So just trying to time it right and all that good stuff.
You just been grinding, and you have a calendar full of shows, lots of stuff going on for you.
Yeah, we're trying to stay as busy as we can. So luckily we've been blessed and fortunate that I guess people still like us to come play out at their places. So yeah, we just try to play as much as we can. We've got some cool stuff coming up. We're playing in El Campo with Peyton Howie, Braxton Keith, and John Wolf this weekend.
That's in
Um,
my notes because that's by me.
yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you there maybe.
I
But
wish
yeah,
I
we're
could make
looking.
it. Yes.
Yeah, we've got that. We've got just a ton of stuff. We're headed out next month at the end of September. We're headed out to shoot Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Ohio with Randall King. We're going to do some shows with him. So super excited about that. That'll be the furthest I've ever traveled for music. So I think that'll be a cool experience. But other than that, yeah, you can go to haydenhaddock.com and we've got a bunch of shows and we are bound to come near your area. So you can come see us.
And you got a lot of stuff going on personally too since the last time we talked, or and then I had so much fun visiting with you and your dad a couple years ago when we were at the TCMA Awards at the pre-party at Rhinestone, had a great visit there.
Yeah,
But since then, since the visit on the podcast, let's see, you graduated A&M and you're engaged.
that is correct.
Tell me about the wedding plans.
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be a small little wedding, but I didn't realize how many friends we had until we started, getting a list together. So now, yeah, we actually just moved back to Rockwall, Texas. We were in Nashville for a year, so we moved back here, get closer to be closer to family and all that good stuff. And anyways, and so we found there's a little town around here. I can never remember the name of it, but it's right outside of Rockwall, and they've got a nice big old barn that looks like we can party in and fit everybody into. So yeah, we're gonna get married this December, and we're excited about it. Obviously, a big step in our lives, and but we've been together a while, so it's time.
Yeah. There's nothing like a December wedding. I think those are so cool.
Well, so we'll see. Yeah, that was actually not the original plan either. We were originally going to do it in April, but then we decided we were going to try and move it up just because there wasn't really any real reason to wait that long. And so we were looking for like October, November, but the only date that this place had available was December. And so we're just going to hope. But in Texas, it's either going to be snowing and freezing cold or it's going to be like 80 degrees outside. You just never know. So,
Okay. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
So you'll be getting a lot of nice wedding gifts. I know you love to cook. So are you still in the kitchen and grilling and cooking like you like to do?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, since we moved here, we've just been kind of busy and going nonstop. So I haven't got to do as much of all that as I would like to do, but I'll get back into it. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some cool new grilling or cooking gadgets or something. I'm sure we will. It's
That's
always
what I
a,
was gonna
a
say. Yeah.
popular wedding gift item. Yeah.
You get all those gadgets, and then you have to find the storage. You have to find the place to put everything. That was my daughter and daughter-in-law had the hardest time after their weddings. It was like, where do we put all this stuff? And that they,
That
that,
was
but they, yes.
that was just brought to my attention. I never thought about that. And then my uncle was like, "Yeah, man, y'all are asking for all this, all these big things." And he's like, "Where are you going to put them all?" I'm like, "Didn't think that one through."
Mhm. So I know we talked a little bit about the future with your dropping radio single releases, and what are some maybe venues you want to play or people you want to, some of your goals that you're looking kind of like down the road.
Yeah, I guess really just keep, I guess like people, for example, we love playing with Randall King. That's always a good time. Always seem to leave his shows, making new fans. I think the music fits really well together. We're trying to get on a couple Aaron Watson shows right now. And so obviously those are good ones to be on. And I've talked to Aaron a little bit, so I'm hoping those work out. Um, and then other than that, I don't know, we're just also trying to go around and, do some of our headlining stuff and, kind of just build up crowds at different places. And we're hoping to get back into some of these like John T. Floor's Country Store, obviously super famous in Texas. We played there a few years ago with Steve Warner, and I always tell everybody that's probably my all-time favorite venue I've ever played. So I'd love to get back in there. And shoot, I don't know, we get around pretty good, and so we're happy to go anywhere. But yeah, and then obviously the bucket list place is Red Rocks, but I think that'll take some time to play that one. But that would be the big bucket list venue.
Wow, Hayden, I love to hear that. And again, it's so great to have you back on the podcast. We do follow you, and you're just so consistent with your profession as a Texas artist, with consistently playing shows. You're putting out some good music. And again, congratulations on Texas Tail Lights going out to streaming, and looking forward to see what Front Porch does with Texas Radio. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome success. And thanks for coming on the podcast. Did we cover everything? Is there anything else we need to cover?
Heck yeah, well, I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, just go give me a follow on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you got. And obviously follow along for our tour dates on Bands in Town, or you can go to my website, haydenhaddock.com. That will kind of just take you to everything. And we appreciate y'all as always.
Thanks again for being so patient with all the internet issues that we had. Thanks, Hayden.